Drunk Wednesdays. Hey everybody, Connor and Kyle, having a lot of fun.
What's up?
This is the pilot episode of a very important series, Drunk Wednesdays. And let's drink together. Let's do that.
Okay, my bad.
Pilot episode, first cheers to Drunk Wednesday. This is a show about literally nothing. We get a little bit tipsy and talk about whatever we feel like talking about. Today, luckily for all of you, on the Steam sale, I purchased RPG Maker VX Ace, which stands for I have no idea what, because it's not Roman numerals. Vixace. RPG Maker Vixace. And we're going to be making a game. Because none of you know this, but Conor and I, in like elementary school, junior high, and a little bit of high school.
14?
Yeah, ever since the olden days of 14 years old, we were making...
Confusing times.
Yeah, no, those were mean. They were vicious. We've been making RPGs on the RPG Maker 3 on PlayStation 2. So on Steam sale, what is normally a $70 game, RPG Maker Vixace, I got for 23 bucks. So we're gonna be making a little 8-bit RPG, and what we want to talk about, our pilot episode of Drunk Wednesdays with Connor and Kyle, is the story. We want to hash out the story. So all of you get to see this first before anybody.
Very lucky.
Before the game's even made, you guys get to know what the story is. So
somewhat, they'll get an idea.
Yeah.
Of what it is.
It'll probably be completely different than what we say here today, but that's okay. It's fine. Whatever.
We'll deal with it when that comes up.
Yeah. No. Cross the bridge when we drive up to it. When we come to it.
Exactly.
In the moment. So we've always made, because we've been pretty restricted in terms of like game making with RPG Maker 3, but with Vixace,
better.
Yeah, I downloaded the futuristic resource pack, so we're making kind of a futuristic-y, we're thinking.
It's a new time period for us.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult. But
we haven't explored
it.
I think we'll be alright.
Ideas brewing.
Yeah, we've been brewing some ideas.
Creative juice.
Yeah, creative juices have been flowing. And I think I figured out how to import some textures. I did some already. Some different enemy sprites and stuff like that, so we should have some more diverse enemy. The air just kicked on.
Okay.
Some more diverse enemy stuff. Yeah. Some diverse enemy stuff. What does every story need? It needs a main character.
Okay. We don't need to give him a name yet, though. So we're thinking futuristic starting point, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be taking notes. So we have.
Well, what kind of, how far into the future are we thinking? Are we gonna be pretty cliche and go with like a dystopian future, like totalitarian ran kind of thing?
Like kind of a Big Brother thing?
Mm-hmm. Or are we gonna maybe just a really shitty future?
I like the idea of a Big Brother thing, because there are a lot of cool things you can do with that.
Okay. Well, the government runs everything.
Yeah, or I just watched a show recently called Continuum, and it's all about how the government crashed, like the government went bankrupt, and the corporations start ruling everything. Like the big megacorps, they rule over everything.
Kind of like Shinra.
Yeah, exactly, like Shinra. And for those of you who don't know, shame on you. Shame sent your way from
You're okay.
us.
It's cool if you don't let Kyle offend you.
It's not cool.
I think you should start in some kind of big city, you know?
Okay.
Like a big city, kind of like a Midgar thing.
Sure.
And yeah, make it really just controlled, government controlled. I liked the thing, didn't we do something once where when everyone turned 30, they disappeared?
Kind of like The Island.
Kinda, not like The Island.
I never watched The Island. I just, for some reason, my brain's making the connection that movie might be that way.
No, let's not do that.
Fuck it, let's not do that.
It's kind of like The Island, yeah.
Okay, we want to stay away from that. Let's not follow in those footsteps. We all know that didn't go very well. We haven't. Have we decided if we want government or corporations?
Let's start with government and see what that goes.
Um,
Everyone's like really poor, kind of like Hunger Games.
Sure. Do you want everybody to be poor? Like literally everyone besides whoever's involved with the government?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay,
All
so
the citizens are.
so
It's just a really shitty area to live.
yeah. So there's two very divisive classes. Like the standard population. They don't have a lot of money. They can't really afford food.
Yeah.
They live in really ran down, shitty government-appointed apartments.
So we have like a main character who lives in. Obviously, we'll start him in the poor class.
Yeah, is he going to be alone? Or he could be a member of the government.
Yeah, like someone's son, like someone important's like son.
Sure.
And then maybe he like, no, let's make him poor.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck being rich. It's all about being poor. That's the in thing.
People
That's the
can
new
relate
thing.
to that better.
That's
you
true.
Know, it's
You know, it's-
recession and
Yeah,
everyone's-
the need to have more is very relatable.
So what do we have right now?
All right, we have future, big brother government. Start in a big city. Two divisive classes. The government is rich, commoners
I thought
are
it
poor.
was. Okay, I thought we had
Oh no, I got
in
this.
that.
I fucking got this. I will continue to have less as the night goes on, but I got this right now.
Alright. How old should he be? Like 20, like early 20s? No parents. Say his parents died or something.
Yeah, everyone's parents are dying.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to do the island. We don't want to do that.
No, we didn't see the island.
No, we didn't. We don't want to do what we think the island did. Let's stay away from our imaginary island scenario.
Yeah, pretty much grew up in like the slums of the city. He's not a very good person. Let's do that. He's like a thief. You know, like he has to steal to stay alive.
Okay,
Kind of like Aladdin.
Alright, here's my question though. Is he like Aladdin in that he is good, but he does bad things to survive, or does he just do bad things?
Well, do bad things like what? Does he like rape people? Because I don't see people like being.
I don't think we want to touch on rape. I don't think.
I think America's ready for that.
Is America? Are you ready for rape? You tell us.
Old Boy comes out in October.
Tell us in the comments section. Are you ready for rape?
I think they're ready. I mean, let's not, that doesn't mean let's include rape as any chance we can get. But I'm saying,
rape everywhere. Just the game's called
America's
rape.
not ready for that.
Okay, so where's the line? Is that just where do we draw the line where there's too much rape? It's everywhere.
Animals will draw the line.
All right,
when raping animals.
When you're raping animals, that's too much.
That's way too much.
I agree. That is way too much.
Yeah.
I don't have the sprites for that in the game, anyways. So
You could find them.
have them colliding and making weird like bumping noises.
Anyways.
Yeah, moving on. Yeah, what kind of bad things can you do?
I mean, steals is obvious.
Yeah. He's a thief, but he doesn't do it just to eat.
How about there's like gangs? And
Okay, he can be a member of a gang.
But maybe he's not a member. He thinks the whole gang thing's kind of gay.
Yeah, he
So,
thinks
like,
he's not in with that scene.
He's not. Yeah. He doesn't like the work. He just looks out for himself.
Bit of a thug. He doesn't roll with a gang, but he robs people, and it's all about personal gain.
He's not afraid to. Yeah.
Or he doesn't
Put a
want
gun
to.
in
He doesn't
your
want to be
face
in a
if you
gang, because in a gang, their strength comes from unity in numbers, and they all have to. It's like a communist scenario, like a communist economical scenario where they're all sharing everything.
Yeah. And he's used to just growing up by himself,
Yeah.
being a lone wolf.
Lone
so
wolf.
that's not his scene at all.
We have a very time-proven method of choosing names, usually on the back of lotion bottles. You'd be surprised. You'd be shocked, bewildered, bewitched, and bothered.
It's kind of cliche, but like the city getting under attack by something. Stick to like Aladdin, kind of like he meets a Jasmine. He meets a government girl or something.
Do you just want to retell the story of Aladdin in the future?
I don't want to.
Space Aladdin? You don't want to do that? Me neither. Space Jasmine could have
Raja.
Yeah, she could have like her own like Robo-Raja.
Okay, we're not doing the Aladdin thing.
Yeah. The more I talk about it, the more it sounds awful. Okay, so what happens? What spurs the story, gets things moving, and gets his character
How about
progression?
your sister dies? Like your sister you looked out for his entire
You're a lone
life.
wolf though. You're used to being alone.
Well, he's had one sibling, and they're used to being alone. right off the bat, I'm talking like first 10 minutes, you know, get connected to her, kill her. Everyone's like, oh shit.
It's like Last of Us. With his dog.
Kinda, yeah, a lot like that, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
It's like in the first
I don't know, it's in the first 5 minutes. If you're upset about that, then fuck you. So it has someone close to him die, and they could die as a result of some form of militaristic conflict. How about the people are revolting against the government because they've got all the money, all the food rations, they control what people get, where people live, how people live. They're revolting. They die in a revolt. The person that he loves dies.
Okay.
They get mixed up.
They're like trying to get steal something.
How about they get mixed up in a gang, and that gang is revolting, and they get killed in a raid. So the gang gets wiped out along with that person. Things happen after this point.
Maybe what if they didn't die, but they get like taken or something? Like she gets like arrested, or he thinks the government has.
Okay, so the mission then becomes infiltrate the government, try to figure out what happened to them. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. And then, so his next move would be, you know, how, as a single person, can I infiltrate this government, or...
We'd probably ask help from the gang she was in to be like, hey, I need, like, well, he's a lone wolf. Kind of.
But, character progression, he overcomes his hatred for gangs, and
asking for help.
he asks them for help to go after
they want that person too.
Yeah.
Well,
It's probably not just them that's taken. It's probably not just that person that's taken. It's a group of them.
Yeah.
They're taken during a revolt or something. My handwriting is so bad right now. It's bad normally, but wow, right now it's like fucking elvish.
It's really good. Excellent. Why is the government so strong? Was there like a nuclear war, or was there like?
Let's say there was some form of a conflict with an outside entity, and that forced the people to give all of their rights away to the government in some form of like a martial law state, and that never was lifted.
So maybe like there were a bunch of different countries and they just completely isolated themselves to stay safe. Like,
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it's not a gang. Maybe it's just some form of a insurrectionist movement, something like that.
Resistance.
Or, yeah, a resistance of sorts, an insurrectionist movement. Yeah. Right.
So they've got this whole regime going on. But what it is like some other government is like way bigger, way more technologically advanced, and they're threatening you all the time. And the government's really protecting the people by giving like offerings to this other country or this other, you know, town or whatever.
Sure.
So the people think the government's like this big asshole just completely controlling them, but really they're protecting them from
So
this
there's the twist that you realize.
this way bigger threat.
Okay.
And what they do is they'll take some people from the resistance, prisoners, and they'll give them to that government as slaves.
Okay.
So that's what happens to the person that's close to you. And eventually you can figure that out.
Yeah, so you go on this rescue mission and stuff, and you get in there, you infiltrate, and the whole thing's happening, it's in movement, and then you find out from some source inside the government that they were actually traded and that this whole thing's going on, and you're like, oh shit, the government's not really that bad.
They help us out.
They're helping us from being fucking destroyed.
And they just take prisoners and some as slaves.
Sure.
Well, at the time, he's gonna be mad because the person. Okay, we need to label it. Is it a family member? Is it his like wife?
Fuck it, let's call it a
sister. Kid, a son or something?
Let's call it a son. Let's call it a son. Sure.
Daughters are more vulnerable.
Yeah, but
Be more connected to a daughter.
That's true. Yeah, let's go daughter. So, how old do you then have to be? Let's say you're
like late 20s, like kind of young.
No, to have a daughter that would be old enough to be a part of this movement. She'd have to be 16 or 18.
Yeah, okay.
You know, kind of old enough to be, you know, she's angsty, she's joining this movement. So let's say you are
mid-30s.
Mid to late 30s. Sure. Yeah. So
okay,
we have to go.
There could be some inter-group conflict too, you know, like some people want to go tell everyone and some people want to keep going and get them before they're slaves.
Sure. So there could be an argument and yeah. Okay. So you go out on a journey to one of the other nations, which has never happened. You know,
that's a big thing.
In how many years? Because they've closed themselves off.
So like escaping should be a big like mission, you know, like trying to leave the city.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
trying to get out of the city, and then you have the whole, like, what is the world like outside of those cities
No
kind
one
of
knows.
thing.
It's all myth.
Yeah, like, no one ever sees what's out there kind of thing, because they've been closed in. So we could mess with all that kind of stuff. It could be really wild. It could be surprisingly tame. Like, different kinds of stuff like
Crazy,
that.
like monsters and aliens.
Yeah,
like, all
we
over the
have
place.
shit like that,
Yeah.
or and there could be like spotted segments of civilization.
So from
out
there, what does the story become? You going like town to town looking for your daughter with the group?
Yeah, looking for news of you're kind of following the trail of the slaving
Okay.
of the slavers that have,
So
that
what's
have
the
their groups. So you're
resistance
looking
out
for
of
clues,
this?
saying like what town did they go to? Where was this kind of thing?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what'd you say?
What is the what's the resistance like want out of this? Like,
They want to get their other members back.
okay.
Like that's their drive because they had a lot of
Clearly
people
defined.
killed in the
Okay.
operation.
I think each town you go to, there's going to be like a sign of where they've gone, and maybe like someone was left behind there, or someone was sold there. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And you'll go to a bunch of different, maybe big cities, maybe small.
So maybe you'll lose and gain a couple party members here and there, kind of cycling through. Sure.
There should be like some kind of general you're looking for,
Okay.
or like some name, you know, like like General something is the guy that led the assault and it's taken everyone back to the main place.
Okay. I'm zooming in. Can I scroll over? Alright.
The delay is
Hold on. I'm controlling it with my phone! No! Anyways, where were we? I have no idea. But maybe I'll release like periodic updates on the game, like this is what I've done so far. Maybe I'll do that. I might do that. I probably won't. I might though. It's always, anything's possible, you never know. It wasn't just you. Your daughter was traded into the actual nation, the big, crazy nation. Yeah, the big city. Because let's say she's hot. To get into like the main governmental office, you have to sneak in there. Final conflict, you're fighting the main guy, of course. How about this? You trace her all the way to the foreign leader's palace, whatever his government building, personal place. And it turns out he killed and ate your daughter. Like he trades
you
slaves.
into eating your daughter.
He tricks
Somehow,
you.
you're like eating dinner with somebody,
Oh,
and you're like,
no.
and you find out you're eating your daughter.
Oh no. I'd like to think he would be one of those like super villains that's like, come eat dinner with me.
Yeah.
And so he like serves him his daughter on a platter, and like everyone's eating or whatever.
Because they're
and-
starving, they
yeah.
were prisoners for a little bit.
Sure. Yeah, they've had them in prison for a couple days, and he's like, come eat. Burp.
And then obviously you go into like rage mode.
Yeah, super rage mode where we give you like all this extra strength and you're just fucking
Kills
raping everyone.
everybody in the palace.
Like fucking
everybody.
everyone. Yeah.
You find a time machine.
Okay. So no.
In the palace.
Alright, hold on. So you find a time machine in the palace, and what you're about to say is not. You were not about to say you go back to save your daughter. You were about to say you go back to save your daughter, but it sent you way too far back in time.
How'd you know I was gonna say that?
Because I'm fucking psychic. You were about to say you go too far back in time.
Yeah.
And it's like medieval days, so you gotta find a medieval time machine to go all the way back and save your daughter. God, that would be so long.
That's a good twist. You gotta save the daughter. You can't end it with you eating your daughter. That's a Shakespearean play.
Too many
That's
twists.
a drama.
I think you should end it with eating your daughter and fucking killing everybody.
Tragedy. No one wants it to end like that. I love that part though, where he just goes ham on everyone in the palace.
Oh, fuck! That's
gotta
Bogross from the house. You guys won't get that, but that's a he and I thing.
That now that we can do that.
Yeah.
Find a time machine.
Find a time machine.
Maybe
Try to go back.
How far?
Oh, hold the fucking phone.
Okay.
You go back in time to before the war started, and you become the leader of the other nation.
So you are the leader.
You are the leader.
The other nation.
Yes.
But you feed yourself your daughter, or you become the leader of your nation. To like you go back, and then you realize like, oh, I can't, like, there's no time machine in this time, like before the war. So
or I'm in a nation that has no fucking time machine.
Yeah.
Only
So you're
this
thinking,
other
like,
nation
what can
does.
I do? So you join the government.
Okay.
And you pretty much rise your ranks up to establish the government that was in your first town.
Sure.
You establish it that way to protect everybody
Sure.
and make sure your daughter, like, no one gets out.
So how do you alter events to ensure that your daughter doesn't get stolen in the first place?
You try to, but it still happens. You know, like one of those, everything will still happen kind of. You can't change time.
What kind of an ending is that?
Ah, you're right. That sucks.
You gotta be able to change the timeline for the sake of the story, for the sake of the player. I hope all of you are following this.
What do you do? Like wait it out, like until that day comes.
How about you become the head of the government, and instead of giving in and selling slaves, you go to war with all of the other nations against the one nation, and you bring it the fuck down.
That's badass.
And so the game ends with you seeing your old self and your daughter like together.
Yeah.
And you're
like you raise this huge, like this big movement in your own government to revolt and to be like, we're not going to be under your rule.
Yeah.
And you show them kind of like an America-British thing.
Sure.
Like we broke free, and we are going to be our own thing.
Yeah.
And you lead. You're like George Washington. You lead this big thing, and then it should end like with you seeing like you and your daughter like together
being happy or whatever.
In a good government. Like it's not the poor.
Yeah. Like you give the power back to the people kind of thing, and then you see you and your daughter and all that kind of stuff. That'd be really fucking powerful.
That's good.
That's a good.
That's really good.
That's pretty sweet. I think we got ourselves a story.
I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah.
If you guys have any complaints, feel free to.
If you have any complaints, go fuck yourself.
Complain to us.
I'm kidding. Write them in the comments. If you have any suggestions for names, differing ways to tell the story, whatever, as I'm assuming you were able to follow what we were saying, even though we went back on a bunch of shit. Yeah, you're not as like. You guys are a smart bunch. You can figure it out. List it in the comments, send me a message, whatever. We are completely open to suggestions. We haven't even started on the game yet. We might burp. We might burp. We definitely have and probably will.
I farted a couple times.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. He's like a ninja. He's like a gaseous ninja.
Ninja fart.
Hashtag ninja farts. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a fantastic Drunk Wednesdays with Connor and Kyle. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope I was able to edit it so this wasn't completely miserable and totally confusing for all of you. Thanks, Connor. Cheers. And see you all in whatever video I upload next. Bada boom, bada bang.
I liked our story.
No, that's a great story.
That's really powerful.
Has the most power of anything that's ever been.